I'm sure many of you are wondering how this summer is going to work with our 7-on-7 Bobcat format. This video is to help you understand how the teams will be constructed, how they'll be competing, what the offense will look like, and what we're going to do on defense. This link has been provided in the Remind using the cell phone number that was provided upon registration. Each player can note their availability for each of the assigned days that we play: June 12th, 19th, 26th, and July 10th. Parents can go in and they can update their availability. I'd ask that you would do so at least one day ahead of time so we can plan accordingly. For the first week, these are the teams. After getting to see some of the players, we might shake this up and move some people around, but you can see the assignments on defense. You can see what position they typically play on offense. Now, on offense, keep in mind there's a center, there's a quarterback, and then there's 5 receivers. So not all the receivers will play at the same time, and they'll have to rotate around. Each team will have a coach. These coaches are high school students that are in my youth group, or they're college students in our college group. They're here to help you and to rotate you and to make sure you're in the right place. You can tell which team you are by the top. You have a number: team 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. On a given Monday, what will happen is team 1 will play against team 2. Team 4 may play against team 5, but if team 5 is missing someone, the team that's not playing will grab a player from that team and will sub them in so that we have a full complement. The quarterbacks won't have an assigned team. They will rotate each week. So it could be that Cody Bowman is with Team 5 this week and Colton Waddell is with Team 4. Well, the next time, Colton Waddell might go to Team 2 and so forth. That way, all of the receivers get to play with all of the quarterbacks, except for, since there's only 4 weeks and there's 5 quarterbacks, there's one you won't get to play with. That's how the format will be. We'll play at least 2 what we would call pool play games, and then you'll be seeded for a championship. So each Monday night will provide its own champion, and then things will be reset for the next time. When it comes to the offense, each of the quarterbacks has been provided a Byron Nelson 7-on-7 playbook. When you get into the huddle, you'll notice that there are colors and letters associated with each one of the positions. The quarterbacks themselves are the ones that are going to show you the playbook so you know what route to run. The Byron coaches have provided the hash marks, and they've provided the line markers so you know exactly how far your route should go. Some of these plays you'll recognize from when you ran at Medlin or you ran at Tidwell, but a few of the plays will be new to you as well. On the back of each one of the plays, the quarterbacks actually have their read and exactly what the route is supposed to be. When your team's not playing, you're welcome to review the playbook with the quarterback to make sure that you're all running things accordingly, how the Byron Nelson coaches want you to run them. Offense is pretty simple. There's a playbook. You see what your position is running, and then you execute it. For defense, we're going to have to do things a little bit differently. Instead of using the Byron 7-on-7 defense, I'm going to keep it really simple. There are 3 coverages that I want each one of the players to know. And if you don't watch this video, you won't know what they are. Each team will designate a defensive captain that will call the coverage. It's very helpful to switch coverages so that the offense doesn't know what you are doing, but also so our quarterbacks can get used to reading defenses instead of just seeing man-to-man every time. The signal, let's pretend here that your cornerback is the one that's your defensive captain. While the offense huddles, the cornerback would raise their fist, and this signifies base defense. The base defense is cover 2. The only difference is there are actually 3 safeties because the Raider is the one that's going to drop deep. In cover 2, you can see that the corner has this area from the slot to the out of bounds. Same on both sides. The linebackers have to be careful knowing that they have the middle of the field all the way out to the slot. The Raider appears like he's up close to take the quick dump pass, But on the snap, the Raider has to start dropping deep. There's just too much ground for two safeties to cover. These safeties have the outside deep, and then the Raider is dropping deep. So for instance, if this A right here runs a post route, the Raider is the one that's coming underneath. So this is cover 2. The corners and the linebackers stay shallow. They don't go deeper than 10 yards unless if the corner sees that there's no other threat and this guy is running deep, there's no other threat to his zone, he's welcome to bracket underneath him and follow back with him. Or if you see your typical smash route right here, the corner can sit on the X and then he can drop back and he can help there. So that's base defense. Base defense is cover 2. If the defensive captain raises up both of their arms, this would be a cover 4 zone. Wanting to give the offense a different look, the Raider doesn't drop deep. The Raider stays shallow, but you notice there are only 3 players to cover this entire width. So you're going to want to call this when it's 3rd and 15, when it's 3rd and 12, something along those lines. The corners are going to drop deep, so you don't have any short responsibility corners. You're just there for looks. When the ball is snapped, you have to drop deep because the safeties have this middle part and the corners have the outside. So that's where we get 1, 2, 3, 4 safeties, and then we have 3 men that are up front. The last coverage is the one that you're most familiar with, and that's going to be man-to-man with safety help. The symbol for this are crossed arms because you're Xing out the person that you're guarding. Instead of moving around and switching who you're guarding, you're just going to guard the guy that's already in your assigned area. The trick will be if this receiver lines up and trips, well, the linebacker has to bump out, and then the Raider has to bump over, and then the linebacker has to go here. If someone goes in motion, you stay with them. That's your person to go in motion with. Obviously, if there's a mismatch and you see that you have a small corner and a big Z, you can switch, but you just need to communicate on that. The safeties are there to cover deep, or you can use them to double on a player. If it's short yardage, they can come up and they can take away the crosses, and then you can just roll with one safety. So it's whatever you want when it comes to that man defense. So the 3 defenses that we've gone over are X defense, which is man-to-man, base defense, raising 1 fist, which is cover 2, and then the last one is raising up 2 4s, and that would be the cover 4 defense. Seeing this video isn't going to be enough for you to be proficient in this defense. You're going to be learning it each Monday. The last thing I'll mention is each player needs to make sure that they bring their own 7-on-7 helmet, a mouthpiece, and either a white shirt to play in or a black shirt to play in. I know the registration said a blue shirt, but a lot of boys played with Ryan Roberts who already have a black jersey. I know Tidwell 7-on-7 had black jerseys. A lot of the Medland guys have their class of 27 black shirts. So if you forget, I will have little jerseys that you can pull over. Bring white and bring black because your team may switch colors. Excited about everything, looking forward to it, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.